Welcome, Field Home Farm Sessions, episode 325, April 20th, 2026. How are you today on this very cold spring day in southern Ontario? Hour and a half north of Toronto. As of right now, I know BC Girl likes to poke fun, but it's -2. And it feels like -7. Got the long johns on April 20th. -6 tonight, it says. Feels like -11. So the cold's not over. Mystery, how are you? The cold's not over. And we got 2 more days of cold weather, and then it's like +16 for a few days. And if you look at the long range, which is what I say with chicken farming, okay, Jay's on. It's not the greatest weather either for the next few days. It's going to be +8, +9 on May 3rd, +10. So, I mean, that's not by no means is warm. 16 is beautiful, but as far as if we want to get the seeding done, seeding started, +8, +9 is not a great it's not great weather to doing that, but we've never not had a spring before. Late night with George C. entered, and then he left. And then Mystery will love this, but Double D came on my podcast, followed me now. We know many Double Ds. We know the Downies, the Darlene, the Dave, the Donna, and we know cup sizes. Do you know the cup sizes, George? But I was talking to our buddy Scottish Jim there, and I guess he was listening to my podcast in the car with his wife and kids, and I think his kids are not of age where there's a lot of dirty stuff should be said, but so the wife said turn off the podcast, so maybe I have to clean it up a little bit. How's that sound? Going to talk about my first 4-H meeting as a partial almost leader in the last 30 years. My first meeting. Talked about the cold, talked about the boys' weekend. Mystery didn't come up. Mystery must have saved his health a bit. But and I just talked to Mr. French for a half hour because I wanted to get one of the things. I'll get right into my 4. And I was going to talk about playoffs too. Playoffs. I heard the next year is the Leafs' year. Not this year, next year. It's their year. They're going to win. So the 4-H meeting last night, we had an introductory meeting, and I don't want to step on any toes because there's Trish Downey, not related to the other Downies. She's been the leader for I think 4 or 6 years and a really good person. So I don't want to like push the weight and say this. So I just kind of sit back and gave suggestions. But everybody introduced themselves. My 2 daughters, oldest daughters, are in this club, which is good. I'm nothing against the other club. It's just we do not want to go to 2 different meetings, 12 meetings a year rather than 6. So they're both in the same club this year. And KJ might disagree with this opinion, but it's my opinion podcast. There was a 9-year-old in the meeting, and like every 9-year-old, very sweet, very loving person, but 9 years old. During the meeting, she sat on her mom's lap because her mom's a leader too. And as my second oldest daughter said, I think 9 years old is too young to be in 4-H. She said, if you're sitting on your mom's lap during the meeting, you are too young. Like, I don't know who came up with a 9-year-old in 4-H. Like, Mystery, what was it when we were in 4-H? So we had to be 13, I think, as 12 years old before January 1st, and then 13. And even that was kind of young, but at 9 years old, like, I don't agree with that. But whatever, KJ, got to get the members, don't you? Got to have the members. So we did that, and they did icebreaker games, and then she did a Jeopardy game and a lot. Oh, KJ, don't you give me the whatever. Even 21, it seems like when I was my last few years of 4-H, like 13, you got a Mystery. See, KJ, Mystery and I are just on the other page of what you're talking about. But even at 19, 20, 21 in 4-H, it's kind of like you're in a different zone in 4-H. Hey, Fax, how are you? Is it cold in New York today? It must be cold because it's -2 here. So we're talking about 4-H. I know you're in the city, Fax, and 4-H, a youth organization around the world. My daughters had a meeting last night. My son is in the meeting as well, and just talking about that. So it's a dairy club meeting. They talked about so Trish, the leader, or the co-leader, I guess now, because I'm a leader also. But she had a Jeopardy game and a bunch of questions from Go for the Gold. KJ would love that. The Go for the Gold questions, different breeds of cows, different health traits, different. It was kind of cool. You cool game to icebreaker, and then they did the labeling the cow and what meetings they'd like to have years come up, months come up, and that's where I talked to Mr. French. I wanted to ask his what he does for meetings. The only real difference he had was a calf health meeting, so that was different. You do a clipping meeting, dairy calves facts. So you do a clipping meeting where it's like cutting hair on the calf. You cut their hair off. Judging meeting, much like a beauty contest for cows facts. Showmanship meeting where you lead the calves around the ring and what to do. That's the different ones. And then Miller's Dairy and one person who's 19. She suggested the only 19-year-old in the club suggested to go to Vodka, and we said no. There's no, we're not relating alcohol to the 4-H, even though there's a lot of drinking done at the Royal and in a 4-H. Mr. Eby and Mr. Sales, myself, I don't mystery you as much because you were like very hardcore in the Scotiabank to Peel. You didn't leave the booth very much, but we definitely went and had a lot of drinks when we were of age in 4-H at the Royal. So we kind of nixed that and said no to that. But it was a great time. And I said to leaders, my first meeting as a leader in 30 years, because when I finished 4-H in 1995, I was a leader in 1996 for 1 year. And I remember we did a police check then. You had to do that was the only requirement to be a 4-H leader at the time was you had to have a police check to make sure you didn't have a criminal record. I was going to say something bad, see, but didn't have a criminal record. And I remember the other leader was very upset because he'd been a leader for like 30 years before that. And he was very upset that he had to all of a sudden now do a police check. And I don't know. I just did it and I was good. And I'm good now, KJ, but I haven't got it back yet. And I'm officially not a leader. I'm an 80% leader because they have not approved my police check. And I've never been arrested. Never had handcuffs on. Never. I've done some questionable things in the past in university, but nothing illegal and nothing I got arrested for. So my police record is clean. I'm a clean. So just it should be like that. Bang bang, get done. But they're slow. What's going on today? Facts, KJ, and mystery in the world. I I could tell you some political stuff, but I'm not going to. But hold on, unedit it. Talk about a boys' weekend. We had a boys' weekend, but I'm going to finish my 4-H show. I did that for a year right after I was done. And as I said to Jason, it was a little bit too early, a little bit too young to be a leader in 4-H just as you got off. It's like when you get done school, you should probably if you're going to come home to the farm, you should probably take a couple years off, go work for somebody else, go do something else, and then come home to the farm. So I think that should hold true for 4-H too, that if you just get finished 4-H, take some time off, do something else, and then come back a couple of years later and sorry, facts. I was just reading your, and then be a leader. And that's enough about that for now. Fax just said he's nursing a hamstring injury from pickleball. Oh, pickleball. It was mystery, wasn't it? My anniversary weekend. Yes, it wasn't a weekend. It was a Friday. We went out for Friday. Like my wife bought me a card, and like I said, don't buy me a card. I said we don't need a card. We'll go out for dinner, and went to the Keg in Barrie, and then where else did we go? We went to we went to Leon's couch shopping. See, that's what anniversary. That's when you get married for 16 years. That's your anniversary. You go out for a nice dinner. It was lovely. The Keg is always lovely dinner, and then went shopping for couches for the cottage. So, and then on Saturday, got everything done. I still have chickens in, so I couldn't leave for a weekend, and it's our anniversary weekend too, so I couldn't leave with the boys. So, went up to the cottage with Big Roy, and it was a shitty weekend. I had a bunch of stuff to plan. I was going to do some chainsaw and cut some wood, blow some leaves, and it rained and it rained and it rained, and it was not a great weekend. Facts, up here in southern Ontario, actually northern Ontario, where the cottage is, they have so much friggin' rain up there. They had probably 3 feet of snow, and it's all melted in 1 week. All that snow is turned to water. And Lake Muskoka and all these places are just flooded with water. Our place is good. It's high up, and it's a spring fed lake, and they can control it pretty good. It's a closed off lake, so you don't get into trouble like that. But we went into Huntsville, excuse me, unedited. And if you ever been up to Huntsville, there's a Boston Pizza right on the lake that goes between the two lakes, Fairy Lake, I think, and Vernon. And there's a Boston Pizza patio. You go in the summer, you have whatever your food sit there. Well, the patio is covered with water right now, so you cannot. And I don't even know if Boston Pizza is open if it's high enough out of the waterway, but you definitely are not going on the patio. So Huntsville and surrounding areas are having a hell of a time right now with water. I remember when we bought the cottage in 2019, and at that time we wanted to get insurance because we bought it. If it burns down, you just wasted your big investment other than the land. So um, we couldn't get insurance at that time because all the insurance agents were held up because of the fact there was a flood also in Muskokas in 2019. So every 7 years, something like this happens, and you just got to deal with it. It's kind of bad online where some of these people, you read some of the comments, and some people put their boathouses that are covered in water, and people do not have any sympathy for other people that have money and have boathouses. They could have bought. And I'm not saying some people are rich. Those aren't the people who are putting on online. They're not crying about that. They'll just get it fixed. But usually the people without the money are putting these boathouses and it's covered in water, and other people are saying, "Oh, boo-hoo, your boathouse is covered in water." But that's society. If you don't want to get criticized, don't post anything online. Unedited, KJ. What are you doing today, KJ? Um, and we had the boys' weekend. Went up there. Like I said, we had a bunch of work to do. We did not get it done. We went to watch Woodbridge. Oh, Woodbridge Gord's son and a bunch of Schomburg guys played hockey, men's tournament, and there was a bit of alcohol. Woodbridge Gord just had an operation on his pancreas. So he is, or not pancreas, is, what's the other thing? Mystery. Um, Prostate. He had a prostate operation, a little bit of cancer, something, blah, blah, blah. Got it zapped out. So let's put it this way: he was not drinking this weekend, and he was hosting, but whatever. So he's walking gingerly, and there should be 100% recovery too. So that's the good part about it. It's just felt bad for a while, so he should be good. Um, Went to Chuck's in Huntsville. They were very slow, very slow. Big Roy doesn't love to drink that much. He's not more of a beer guy. He's more of a cigarette guy. He likes to smoke, but I did make up for his lack of drinking beer. So we had a few beers and it was a great time. Bunch of guys. We did not get out the cards. I don't know why we didn't get out the cards, but we should have got out the cards and played a bit of euchre. But we didn't do that. We're just shooting the shit, and then all these young people who are sons of the other guys, they all came in too. They liked hanging out with the old guys, and Tom Tomlinson's son Thomas was there also, and a bunch of guys from Schaumburg. And it was a great time. Went to bed, whatever. Went back for breakfast, and came home yesterday. So it was short, very very short visit. So I don't know if I mentioned it too, but I think I did last episode. My daughter did not make the A team, the U15 A team, which is good because she wanted to make the double B team anyways. That tryout starts tomorrow night. A lot of the tryouts, a lot of double A girls and the A girl tryouts are done right now. So now it's on to the double B, and usually the girls that didn't make those come to the double B, and there's double B, B. I think in KJ's world there's a C and a D and an E, but in our world it goes down to double B and B. So that starts tomorrow night, and hopefully she makes that team. She should, but there's no guarantees. So on that note, I will take the long johns, keep them on, and mystery, keep everything warm, and be good. And we will talk to you. It's a short one today, Fax, but thanks for listening the whole time. Fax Porcupine, listen to his podcast. Very interesting. Very. I was going to talk about. I was going to mention Doug Ford and his $1 million jet, but I'm not going to. I'm looking for a jet, but probably not for that much money. Don't need $20 million. Jeepers. KJ asks, how are the Cavs? They are lovely and they are living.